Good morning, student. Before explaining today's point, let us first revise points of previous lecture. In previous lecture, we have seen very important phenomena of total internal reflection. There are the different application of total internal reflection in daily life. That may be the mirage, periscope, binoculars, brilliance of diamond, and optical fiber. Then we have explained the working and construction of optical fiber in detail. Okay, then let us see what do you mean by the dispersion of light. It is again the property of light. You know that refractive index of a material depends on the frequency of a wave. As the frequency of wave increases, refractive index also increases. You know that light consists of 7 different colors. Each color has a different refractive index. Okay, therefore, what do you mean by then dispersion of light at a single surface? See, this is the single surface. For example, glass. This is the transparent material. This is normal to this glass and air. Then this is the incident ray, making an angle of incident eye. Then when it strikes at this surface, then light get rays refracted. Okay, in this way. And this is the incident ray, की जो आपण extend केलेला आहे. Okay, this is the refracted ray for red color, and this is the refracted ray for the violet colors. Means when the white light is incident on a transparent material, it is separated into the 7 different colors or constituent colors, is called as a dispersion of light. The separation of white light into its constituent colors is called as a dispersion of a light. Then there is a phenomena of angular dispersion, and we have to obtain its expression also. See this is the red color and this is the violet color. Okay, then what is the value of this? This is the del V and this is the del R. Okay, and then what is this value? This value is del V R is equal to the del V minus del R, of course. Means जे काही deviations झालेला आहे त्या angle मधनं झालेला आहे, and therefore it is called as a angular dispersion. Angular dispersion. It is again very important term. Angular separation between the two extreme colors. Extreme colors means शेवटचे 2 colors. First color is red colors and last one is the violet color. Okay, विबगायर या सिक्वेन्स प्रमाणे काय असतात ते कलर्स असतात आणि त्यांचा त्या सर्व कलर्स मिळूनच काय तयार होत असतो, स्पेक्ट्रम हा तयार होत असतो. बरोबर आहे ना? Therefore angular dispersion means angular separation between the two extreme color in a dispersed beam of light is called as a angular dispersion. And dispersion of means it is the separation of light into its constituent colors. But this separation is in the form of an angle and therefore it is called as a angular dispersion. Okay, येते लक्षात? Where del V is nothing but a angle of deviation for violet color and del R is nothing but a angle of deviation for a red color. Okay, now next point is lateral dispersion. We have to see the lateral dispersion. Lateral dispersion. due to plane slab. Due to plane slab. Let us consider that plane slab. What is this? This is plain glass slab. Okay. Now, this is the normal to the refracting surface or plain glass slab. Okay. Now, this is the incident rays making an angle of I. I is the angle of incident. When light rays travel from the rare medium to the denser medium, it get refracted. Okay, like this. It bends towards the normal. Okay, making an angle of R here. Here is again for R. दोन rays आपण दाखवलेले. This is for the violet colors and this is for the red colors. Or say it is violet colors and this is the for red colors. Again this refracted rays travel from the, this is again refracted side. When this travel from the denser medium to the rare medium, then what happen? It bends away from the normal like this. What is this? This is called as a emergent ray. These rays are called as a emergent ray. Okay, this is called as a emergent rays making an angle of refraction. Here for red color it is del R and for violet color it is del V. And if this incident ray is extended, then it is parallel to the emergent ray. Okay, suppose this is the distance is say LR, this distance is suppose LV. Okay, and then what is the LVR? LVR is equal to the LV minus LR. Okay, हाच आपण इन्सिडेंट रे काय केलेला आहे? एक्सटेंड केलेला आहे. ओके, आणि मग इन्सिडेंट रेज आणि इमर्जंट रेज यांच्यामधले जे काही डिस्टन्स आहे, जो काही फरक आहे, डिफरन्स आहे, विच इज द LVR. LVR इज इक्वल टू द LV मायनस LR अँड दिस इज कॉल्ड ॲज लॅटरल dispersion. Lateral dispersion. Then what is the lateral dispersion? Of course it is the distance between the incident rays and emergent rays. That distance, of course that distance is the perpendicular distance, and that perpendicular distance is called as a lateral dispersion. Okay? Therefore, lateral dispersion is the perpendicular distance between incident rays and the emergent rays are called as lateral dispersion. Okay? Then this is the main point. Formula for lateral dispersion is LVR is equal to the LV minus LR. This incident ray and the emergent rays are parallel to each other. Okay, therefore in this topic first we have seen what do you mean by dispersion. The separation of white light into its constituent colors is called as a dispersion. Then angular dispersion means angular separation between the two extreme colors in a dispersed beam of light is called as angular dispersion. And lateral dispersion means it is the perpendicular distance between the incident rays and emergent rays is called as a lateral dispersion. Okay, then let us see prism formula. Prism formula and relations between the angles involved in it. We have to see, we have to obtain Prism formula, okay, and the relations between the different angles involved in the ray diagram of prism, okay. Then what is the ABC? ABC is the principal section of prism. You know this very well. बऱ्याच विद्यार्थ्यांनी तो लॅबोरेटरीमध्ये पाहिलेला असेल, ओके. पाहिला नसेल तर आपण पुढच्या लेक्चरला मी वाटलंस तर तुम्हाला दाखवेल. तुम्हाला एक्सपेरिमेंट सुद्धा परफॉर्म हा करायचा आहे प्रिझमचा, ओके. देअरफॉर ABC is the principal section of prism. A is the refracting angle of prism. This is two-dimensional diagram. Of course, prism जर तुम्ही पाहिला असेल तर it is the three-dimensional actual. ओके. नेकेड आईजने जर आपण पाहिला तर तो आपल्याला काय दिसणार आहे? थ्री-डायमेन्शनल दिसणार आहे. परंतु इथं मी फिगरमध्ये काय दाखवलेला आहे तो टू-डायमेन्शनल दाखवलेला आहे. What is the BC? BC is the base of prism. Okay. This AB and AC are the refracted side of prism. Okay. Now see this. This is the incident ray. Okay. PQ is the incident ray. It strike at point Q, as this is the refracted side. Okay. Then it get refracted along the QR. It is bends towards the normal. Again, when the light rays QR travel from the denser medium to the rare medium, it bends away from the normal and it travels along the RS. This RS is called as a emergent ray. PQ is incident ray, QR is refracted ray, and RS is emergent ray. Okay, and this is the normal to this surface, this is the normal to this surface. What is then E? E is the angle of emergence. The angle between emergent ray and the normal, E is called as a E. What is this? This angle is R1, because this is the angle of refraction. There may be the two angle of refraction, R1 and R2, because two sides are the refracted sides of the prism. Therefore, this is R1 and this is the R2. Okay. Then, if we extend the emergent ray, see this, and incident ray, they meet at a single point called as this point X. When emergent ray and incident ray extended, they meet at a single point. That point is called as a X, and angle between that emergent ray and incident ray is called as a delta. This angle, this notation is called as a delta, angle of deviation. This angle is called as a angle of deviation. Okay, then let us obtain the relations between the angles involved in it. Then consider the quadrilateral AQNR. In this quadrilateral, plus angle of N is equal to the 180 degree. Okay, because you know that AQNR total angle is the 360 degree. मी मगाशी 60 डिग्री म्हटले चुकून, तर तिथे 60 म्हटले असं मी. ओके, तर तुम्हाला माहिती आहे चौकोनांच्या चारही कोणांची बेरीज किती असते? 360 डिग्री असते. देअरफॉर आपण दोनच अँगल कन्सिडर केले, ए अँड एन. देअरफॉर इट इज द 180 डिग्री. Angle A plus angle N is equal to the 180. R1 plus R2 plus this is angle N is equal to the is 180 degree. So this is equation 1, this is equation number 2. Okay, there compare these two equations. What we get? A is equal to the R1 plus R2. Say equation number 3. Okay, then as the delta is exterior angle of XQR, then what is delta? Delta is equal to the angle XQR plus angle XRQ. Okay? Delta काय आहे तर हा exterior angle आहे. Okay, therefore delta is equal to the XQR plus XRQ. Therefore, what is the value of this XQR? It is I minus R1. What is this value? This is E minus R2. Therefore, delta is equal to the I minus R1 plus E minus R2. Okay. एक्सटेरियर अँगल असल्यामुळे आपल्याला ह्या व्हॅल्यूज ह्या मिळालेल्या आहे. देअरफॉर डेल्टा इज इक्वल टू आय प्लस ई मायनस R1 प्लस R2. ओके, देअरफॉर डेल्टा इज इक्वल टू आय प्लस ई मायनस R1 प्लस R2 इज A. Okay, therefore A plus delta is equal to the I plus E. This is the relations between angle involved in the ray diagram of prism. Because A is angle of refraction, delta is angle of deviation, angle between the incident ray and emergent ray is delta, I is angle of incident, angle between normal and incident ray, and E is the angle of emergent. Angle between the emergent ray and normal is called as a E. This is the relations between the angles involved in the ray diagram. Okay, now we have to obtain the Prism formula. From this equation we can say that the angle of deviation depends upon the angle of incident. ओके, तुम्हाला मी म्हटले की हा एक्सपेरिमेंट सुद्धा काय करायचा परफॉर्म करायचा लॅबोरेटरी मध्ये याच पद्धतीने. ओके, लेट अस सी नेक्स्ट एक्सप्रेशन. फर्स्ट वी गेट हियर A प्लस डेल्टा इज इक्वल टू द I प्लस E. हे इक्वेशन्स आपल्याला मिळालं. से दॅट इक्वेशन इज इक्वेशन नंबर 5. ओके, नाउ इफ वी प्लॉट ए ग्राफ ऑफ delta versus I, angle of incident, then nature of graph is like this. See this. Means when the angle of incident increases, first angle of deviation decreases. Then it becomes the minimum. Okay, here we get the minimum value. Say it is delta m, minimum value of angle of deviation, it is delta m, and which is equal to say delta. Therefore delta is equal to the delta m. Okay, therefore we get the minimum value at a particular value of angle of incident. Then further if we increases angle of incident, angle of deviation also increases. Okay, हा आपल्याला एक्सपेरिमेंटल रिझल्ट मिळतो. and then if we plot a graph of delta versus I, then nature of graph is like this. Okay, then by using the principle of reversibility of light to the ray PQRS, it is obvious that if the one of the value is I, then other must be the E and vice versa. जर एक व्हॅल्यू I असेल तर दुसरी काय असणार, ऑफकोर्स E असणार आहे. आणि इफ वन ऑफ द E असेल तर अदर शुड बी द I. Okay, therefore by applying the principle of reversibility of light to the path PQRS it is obvious that if the one of the value is I, other must be the E, and vice versa also. Okay, therefore here we get when I is equal to E or when delta is equal to the delta M, I is equal to E. Okay, therefore we can say that at I is equal to E, delta, or you say here as delta is equal to delta M, I is equal to E. At delta is equal to delta M, I is equal to E. And if I is equal to E असेल, then we can say that all these angles R1 is equal to R2 is equal to RC. Okay, and here first we obtain the equation A is equal to the R1 plus R2. Therefore, A is equal to R1 is R, R2 is R. Therefore, A is equal to the twice R. And therefore, what is the R? R is equal to the A by 2. Okay, now put this substitution in this equation 5. Then what we get? A plus delta is equal to delta M, minimum deviation. Okay, therefore, A plus delta M is equal to the I plus I, it is 2I, and therefore, I is equal to the A plus delta M upon 2. We get the value of angle of incident is equal to A plus delta M upon 2. And here we get R means angle of refraction. We get R is equal to the A by 2. Okay, then according to the Snell's law, what is the Snell's law? N is equal to the sin I upon sin R. Okay, therefore N is equal to the sin of I ची value put up करा is I is equal to A plus delta M upon 2 upon sin of R ची value put up करा A by 2. Therefore, this is the value of, this is the equation of, this equation is called as a Prism formula. Yes, I am writing here also N is equal to the sin of A plus delta M upon 2 upon sin of A by 2, where A is the angle of refraction, delta M is the angle of deviation. Okay? Practically, we get this result. If we plot a graph of I versus delta, the nature of graph is like this. In this graph, as the value of I increases, delta decreases. Then at particular value of I, it becomes minimum. Okay, and that value is I is equal to E. या I is equal to E, त्याच वेळेस delta is equal to delta M असणार आहे. नाही तर प्रत्येक डेल्टाला I च्या व्हॅल्यूज काय मिळतात ते पहा, 2 मिळतात इथल्या डेल्टा. सपोज वी कन्सिडर धिस डेल्टा, अगेन वी कन्सिडर 2 व्हॅल्यूज, हिअर डेल्टा, वी गेट द 2 व्हॅल्यूज ऑफ I. But when delta is equal to delta M, we get the only one value of angle of incident, and that angle of incident is angle of emergent. Therefore, by applying the principle of reversibility of light to the path P, Q, R, S, it is obvious that if the one of the value is I, other must be the E, and therefore at delta is equal to delta M, I is equal to E, and R1 is equal to R2 is equal to RC. And नंतर value आपण काय केलेले आहे, फक्त we put up these values in equation number 5 and as well as in equation number 3. Okay, and therefore we get this formula, and that is important formula. Question is asked on this is obtain Prism formula. Let us stop here.